Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This video is about advanced filter design, and this is from the book Engineering Circuit Analysis by Mr. Hyatt, and it is on the request of a student. Although the basic filter functions adequately for a number of applications, their characteristics are far more from the ideal. Now, the basic filter is simple RC filter, and the desired characteristics for a low pass filter is like this, that for a certain frequency the complete signal should pass, and then after that the complete signal should be attenuated. But practically it does not happen. The practical design would be something like this, that it is passing and then it is gradually attenuating. So fortunately we have alternatives known as higher order filters, and higher order filters are those that have more than one pole or more than one factors in the denominator. And now you can see, if we have just one pole or first order filter, then this attenuation is very low. As we keep on increasing the order of filter, the attenuation is increasing, and ultimately maybe it reaches very close to the ideal value. Now there are two filters that we'll consider or we'll discuss. These are the Butterworth filter and the other is Chebyshev filter. This is the formula for Butterworth filter. This is the transfer function, and you can see n represents the order of the filter, n which can be 1, 2, 3, and similarly n here. Now we may create an operational amplifier based circuit having a double pole simply by cascading two circuits. So just these are the two low pass filters, low pass active filters. So if we cascade and change the parameters, we can achieve a double pole filter or a better attenuation. But a better option is given by Salin-Kelly. If we wish to improve the basic approach, then we'll use this Salin-Kelly amplifier filter. So this is the Salin-Kelly amplifier filter, so we'll work with that, and this is a low pass filter. Now before we go on to the actual question, let's just revise the scaling parameters of scaling. I'll just summarize. Let's say this is the circuit that we got, and this circuit has the frequency response curve here. Now what we want is that this amplitude of the impedance, instead of 2.5 ohm, it should be 5 kilo ohm. Similarly, this cutoff frequency or the corner frequency, instead of 1 radian, it should be 5 megaradian. So we have to scale both in magnitude and in frequency. So the first thing, this 5 kilo can be achieved if you multiply this by 2000. So this will be called the magnitude scaling factor. So multiplying this, we get the circuit modified as shown here, and then to get the frequency we have to multiply it by 5 mega. So multiplying 5 mega, we get this circuit. Now it's not direct multiplication of all. This is the formula. For magnitude scaling, resistance will be multiplied directly, inductor multiplied directly, and the capacitor divided by the Km or the magnitude scaling factor. Similarly, when we go for frequency scaling, the resistance remains same. Now the inductance, the modified inductance, which is L dash, will now be divided by Kf or the frequency scaling factor. And so if you see here, half was multiplied by 2000, we got 1000, and now this will be divided by 5 into 10 raised to the power 6 to get 200 microhenry. and similarly for the capacitor. Now the two can be done simultaneously as well. So in this case, if we want to do both, we just need to multiply R by Km, and we multiply and divide L, multiply by Km, divide by Kf, and similarly the capacitor is divided by Km multiplied by Kf. Okay, now the Sallen-Kelly amplifier is a second order active filter. This is the original design. We'll work with that. Okay, let's now deliberate on the Sallen-Key filter and try to find out the transfer function for this filter. If you look, this terminal is the V input terminal. This is Vx terminal, V out terminal, and this is Vy terminal. Now we know that the two terminals of an op-amp would have same voltage. So if Vy is here, therefore Vy should be here also, or at this point as well. So let's write it Vy. And now let's try to find out the transfer function for the inverting amplifier only, this part. And we know that the output input are related by this formula, 1 plus Ra over Rb, which is also the gain of the non-inverting amplifier. So we can write that gain is 1 plus Ra over Rb from here, which is equal to Ra plus Rb divided by Rb. Now from here we'll find Vy. So Vy can be written as V naught divided by this. And now if you look at this, this is just inverted of G. And so for this we'll write 1 over G. So Vy will now become V naught over G. So this is one of the equations that we'll be using. Now if you look at this portion, which I have redrawn here, we have converted the capacitor into S domain, and we'll now try to find out the relation between Vy and Vx. So Vy, this voltage here, can be written as Vx divided by this impedance, so R2 plus 1 over C2x, and multiply by this impedance, so 1 over C2x, and which is equal to as shown here. And so from here we get Vx in terms of Vy by this equation. So this is our another equation. And now we come on to the third equation that we will need, that is the, if we write the nodal equation or at this point x, at node x, so you can see that at this node there are three currents leaving. One is this direction, one current here, and one current like this. So sum of the three current is 0. So 0 is equal to first leaving Vx minus Vi divided by R1. So Vx minus Vi divided by R1. The second current leaving is Vx minus Vy divided by R2. So Vx minus Vy divided by R2. And the third one is Vx minus V naught divided by 1 over SC1. This one we are using 1 over SC1 just like we did here. So this is the third equation. Now what we'll do is we'll plug in these values. We'll plug in the value of Vy and we'll plug in the value of Vx into this equation to get V out over V in relation, and which will be as shown here. This relation will be something like this. Now those of you who believe this to be correct, fine. Those who don't believe, for last about 3 slides I have solved this. I'll not go into the details, but you can pause each of the videos and see how I have proceeded. So this is the first one. We had these 3 equations, and then by plugging in the values we get this, and then this, and this, and keep continuing. And finally this, and this is what we get. Okay, so now I hope you will believe that this is the output input relation, or this is the formula. Now I will further simplify this, and we'll take R1, R2 equal to R, and we'll also assume that C1 and C2 is equal to C. So plugging in or replacing R1, R2 by R, we get this relation here. So this is now slightly simplified form. And so we replace all the R's, R1, R2s with R, and all the C1, C2s with C. So this is the new circuit. Okay, so we were here, and now we'll further simplify. So this part can be simplified as shown here. It will be 3 minus G divided by RC. And now we'll compare this with the standard equation or standard low pass filter transfer function for nth order. And now if we compare, now G is equal to K, so G is equal to K. This term is A naught, so A naught can be written as 1 over R square C square. And the term with S is A1, so the term with S is A1, therefore A1 is 3 minus G over RC. Now this equation for putting in the values, we are now getting this equation. And now we'll take help of the table here, table 16.2, to find the coefficients. So this is valid for Butterworth and Chebyshev filters. For second order, ours is the second order. For second order, A0 is equal to 1 and A1 is 1.4142. So we'll plug in these values here. So this is the transfer function for our filter now. A1 is 1.4142, and this one is 1, and here also is 1, G into 1. So we'll be using this formula now to solve the problem, or solve the example. Now let's see the example. Design a second order low pass Butterworth filter having a gain of 4 and a corner frequency of 14 radians per second. Okay, we know that the corner frequency is given by omega is equal to 1 over RC. This was our filter, Salin-Kelly prototype, and for R1 equal to R2 equal to R, C1 equal to C2 equal to C, this got modified, we saw that. So this will now become the circuit that we'll be solving. The formula that we had gotten, and the final formula, this was after we had used the table. Now the table was for a corner frequency of 1, or but it's called normalized to a corner frequency of 1. So this formula is valid for normalized corner frequency of 1. And this we know was 1.414. Okay, so we had concluded that RC will be equal to 1 and 3 minus G RC is equal to 1.414. And from here, Now putting in the value of RC equal to 1, and we can calculate the gain G. So the gain is 1.586. Now remember, this gain is for the normalized circuit. This is the gain of the operational amplifier. So the gain is 1.586, and from here we can find the value of RA over RB to be 0.586, and if we assume RB to be 1 kilo, then RA will be 586 to satisfy this relation. Now the two resistors in our gain network do not need to undergo scaling. So this is not part of the scaling. These were the part of the scaling. So this will remain unchanged. Okay, we note that if C is equal to 1 farad, then R should be 1 farad to meet this requirement, that is RC equal to 1. But unfortunately, these are neither of which are of particularly conventional value. So these are very difficult to obtain, these values of resistance and capacitance. So what we'll do, we'll assume a more practical value for the capacitance. So let's see that the capacitance is 1 microfarad. And we'll proceed to work with this value now. Now first of all, the corner frequency we had assumed RC to be 1, but in our question the corner frequency required is given to be 1400 radians. So the corner frequency, or the initial assumed corner frequency, which is 1, has to be multiplied by a frequency factor Kf. So 1 into Kf will be equal to 1400, and so Kf, the frequency scale factor, is 1400. We find from this is to be 1400. And now we had discussed this earlier also in the scaling. These are the values if we do the magnitude scaling. So after magnitude scaling, the value of resistance, inductance and capacitance will change by this. So multiply by Km divided by Km. And after these has been magnitude scaled, if we do now the frequency scaling, the resistance remains same, the capacitance new value will be divided by Kf, and the inductance new value will be divided by this value divided by Kf, and same here. So the net result, the total result, if we are going from this to this, will be C divided by Km and Kf both. So these are the final results. So we will be using this result now to find Km, or the magnitude scaling factor. So using this formula, C double dash we had assumed to be 1 microfarad. So we're writing that. This was the earlier assumption of 1 farad here. Kf we have found to be 1400. So from here we will now calculate Km, or the magnitude scaling factor for this, which is 714. And now if you look, we have the Km, so we can find the new R by just multiplying by the old R. So new R is Km into R, 714 into R was 1, here we had assumed this 1. So this is the new resistance 714. Okay, so we had found these 4 values, and if you look at the circuit, apparently everything is done. We have found these 2 values, we have found the value of resistances and the capacitances. But unfortunately our design is not quite done. Why? Okay, the gain we got for the normalized circuit was 1.586, but in the question it has been asked to have a gain of 4. So how to achieve this? The simplest way is that we add another non-inverting amplifier to achieve this gain. And so we'll do this. We'll add another non-inverting amplifier and we'll achieve this gain, which is 1.586 now, to a gain of 4 by using this circuit. So this is the input-output relation for the non-inverting amplifier. From here, this is gain. So gain is, or the required is 4 divided by 1.586, which is 2.52. And from here, RF over R1 is 1.52. Now if you assume R1 to be 1 kilo, then RF should be 1.52 kilo to meet this requirement. So our final circuit would look like this, plugging in all the values. So this is the final answer. Now the practice problem is again similar. The only thing is the gain is now changed, 10 dB, and same is also the cutoff frequency. So I'll quickly will go over this. We're just following the same technique as we have done there. So gain in this case we're now calculating. The required gain is now 3.16. And the required cutoff frequency will be 6283 radians. This was the formula for the normalized case, where corner frequency was 1. This is another parameter that it will remain same as in the previous case from here. So G for the normalized case remains same, 1.586. For the circuit, this gain, or for the operational amplifier, the gain is like here, 1.RA over RB, and from here we can calculate RA/RB. These are the two values that we get. And same logic, we are assuming the same value of the capacitance. We'll be using this scale here. So again, same logic, corner frequency from 1 to now 6283 radians. So we calculate KF from here, plugging into the value of C dash, 10 raised to the power minus 6. And from here we calculate Km. So Km comes to be 159. And so we know that R double dash is Km into R, so 159 into R is 159 ohm. So we have found the values, all these three, and same logic, the normalized gain is 1.586, but in the question the gain required is 3.16. So just following the same technique or same logic, we get the value of R1 is 1K and RF is 994. This is for the second amplifier. So this is the answer. So I hope this gives you an understanding, although it is a long question, but you follow step by step, it will become very easy. Thank you.